In this daily drop, I'm going to be talking about a new clamp that you may not be aware of that can be a great alternative to clamps like the Mafer or Super Clamp and this 4-way clamp right here. So let's go. All right, everybody, here we are, brand new week and brand new episodes of the Daily Drop. Get used to what I'm wearing right now because we've got 5 episodes back to back to back to back to back where I'm going to be wearing this because I'm out of town next week and I've got to crank this content out, but with thought, with intention, and with education. Now, what I want to do is talk about a clamp that you may not be aware of. The Super Clamp or Mafer clamp, is an industry standard. I probably have over a dozen of these things. They are fantastic. They attach to virtually anything and great in this configuration for round and, for round things. If you're attaching this to something like speed rail, it also works, but you can add a little piece here so that this side is flat that comes with the clamp. Most of you have used these. And then the other part of this is there's usually this pin configuration right here, and you can add a baby pin, tighten that down, and then you can attach other things to the clamp. Fantastic, and something I use all of the time. They sell these in singles. There's also a double one, which is great. We'll talk about that in another episode. Not something I'm saying you replace, but you'll see in a second. This Kupo 4-way clamp. I just featured this recently in an episode where I talked about clamshell lighting. Love this thing as well because it opens up and then you can attach it to something like a C-stand, an auto pole, whatever. But look, there's only so much circumference that you have that you can use this in terms of certain things that you're clamping to. You understand. But a great piece of kit. Not saying you shouldn't have this. It's relatively lightweight, very sturdy, and these 4-way clamps, actually this one I have in my hand is a 3-way. They make a 4-way as well. You can attach different pieces of grip to these. This is, of course, the baby pin, which is the standard, and then you can basically tighten that down, and it works. But here's the thought process. When I was thinking about that clamshell lighting setup, I was thinking about rolling stands which are larger than a C-stand to clamp to. And I got a little concerned. I thought this might do the trick, or the 4-way, and they have a couple of different versions which I'll link to. But what if I show up in a situation where that's too small, where it won't fit around the stand that I'm attaching it to? Well, there's a company, and I have some of their kit and I've had it for a long time, called 9.SOLUTIONS or 9.SOLUTIONS, and they make this thing called the Savior clamp. Look at this thing. This is ridiculous. And it pivots here, so it can go onto many different surfaces. And I'm just going to go ahead and start to tighten this down. It is incredibly well made, about $45 US. And they make this Savior clamp in different configurations. I have one here, actually, that has a baby pin built into it. But for me, even though that one is slightly lighter than this one here, this is the unicorn clamp for me. It's great because it has 1/4-20 and it has 3/8 taps on both sides of this clamp here. So I could take something like this, which I just picked up, which is a 3/8-16 to 1/4-20. It's like this little mini ball head, and I could thread that into here. Obviously, you could use something else as well, but check this out. I'll put a link to this. It's about $10 US. So you can put that onto here. But just like with the Super or the Mafer clamp, you have this pin here that you can just go ahead and press down and tighten it. And now you have, very similarly to a Super or Mafer clamp, this configuration. But with the added benefit, I think, of it being a little more versatile without having to add anything, because it's designed to attach to flat things, speed rail, whatever. You can go to round objects. is pretty much nothing I think you can't really clamp to with this. And they're incredibly well built and incredibly strong. I think it's a great option. In fact, you could even take, this is a 3/8 to baby pin. I could put that here. It doesn't have to be on the recess side. There's a lot of flexibility with this clamp in terms of what you can do. I'm very happy with the stuff that I've bought from 9 dot or 9 solutions, 9.SOLUTIONS, 9 solutions. I'll put a link to a couple of these different Savior clamps in the description. I think they're worth looking at. I think that they are just really well made, really well thought out, and possibly an essential piece of kit that could sit with your other stuff, along with our good friends, these 3 and 4-way clamps from Kupo, and of course, the Super/Mafer clamp. That's what I got for you. Don't forget to, and I'll see you on the next episode of The Daily Drop.